What's up everybody, welcome back to the Mountain Built Garage YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working on episode 2 of this orange Xterra thing. So for episode 2, I'm going to be taking everything I need to run the supercharger on my solid axle swapped rig over there. In the first episode we covered the bumpers and restoring all of those, but this episode's just going to be about getting the supercharger and everything required to run it. And to be 100% honest, I'm hoping this ECU is going to work in my truck for the time being. If not, I'm going to end up ordering one online that's from a slightly older year in case this one's security system doesn't allow me to run it on that truck. But without further ado, let's get started. All right, so normally I don't wear gloves when I'm working on shit. I just let my hands get dirty. But this one is extra crusty, so I'm gonna run gloves until my hands can't stand them anymore. But I'm just gonna start by taking some of these hoses off and connectors and things like that, and we'll just see where we get to.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no.
All right, so I didn't film the last couple of minutes just because I was running to the toolbox and back a bunch, and that'd be boring. But got the radiator draining. That's the tinkling sound you're hearing. Got the supercharger belt off. You can see that's exposed. Intake's off. A couple other lines are off. I've got a couple lines on that side, and then I think I just gotta undo some bolts here and see what becomes of it. We'll find out though. I'm not 100% sure what is all holding this thing in, but I think I've got a good majority of it off right now, so we'll see. But I'll update you guys in a few minutes.
What's left, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
So I'm back with another update. I'll show you what we're looking at. I just worked ahead a little bit because I wanted to listen to some music, but I put my headphones in so that I can just listen to music while I work and film this whole debacle here. But we got the supercharger off, the lower plenum off, and now we've got this, or I guess the upper plenum, and then now we have this lower plenum to do. Radiator's out, so all I really got to do left is pull the pulley bridge, AC compressor, and the harmonic balancer, and this guy right here. So I'm gonna get started with that. Hopefully I can get this done here pretty quick. It's getting really hot, so if it gets too hot, I'll probably call it for the day and just work on it again a little bit later this week. But I'll get as far as I can, and yeah, I'll keep you guys posted.
Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't want to miss a beat. And on we'll go.
so final update here. It's a little bright, so excuse my squinting, but we got basically everything off except for the lower harmonic balancer down there, but intake plenum and everything is out, and I'll show you around basically everything that I took off this guy. So that guy's just sitting there like that right now, and over here we got our radiator, our coolant reservoir, just because I took that because it unfortunately snapped right there, so I'm hoping I can plastic weld it, otherwise I'll be getting a new radiator. Got the pulley bridge, got the fan clutch down here, got the supercharger snout, AC compressor, lower plenum, upper plenum, fuel rail, then we got the air intake here and all the hardware. And that's basically all I've got off so far. I've got a little bit more to do. I got to get the ECU out of it, and I got to get that harmonic balancer off. So I'm going to run to O'Reilly to get a pulley puller. But yeah, that's where everything's at. So keep you guys updated. What's up, everybody? It's a new day. Got to take the final parts off this car. I'll show you around it, what we need to pull and all that stuff. And then hopefully I got some time to get started taking parts off that one too. So without further ado, I'll show you guys around what we need to pull off, and we'll get right into it. All right, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, I got a general idea. I know how to work on shit, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'm only as good as the information I can find. But I know that I got to take these valve cover gaskets, or these valve covers, off and swap them onto mine, because the PCV system is a little bit different on the supercharged model. So I'm going to take these, and then I need to get the harmonic balancer off down here, and then moving on over into the inside, I need to take the goddamn ECU out this motherfucker. So we'll figure it all out, but I'll get you guys on a tripod, get a time lapse going, and I'll get these valve covers off, and then work on that guy right down there. All right, I'll start by putting some gloves on. Not really feeling the grease right now. See how long it lasts though. Get these guys right on my fingers, and we'll get started. All right, so we got the harmonic balancer off, we got the valve covers off, and I got the throttle cable, which is up back there as well. I forgot to mention that, but that was needed to come out too, because I've heard a bunch of stuff about how the supercharger one is different than the NA throttle cable. So all that stuff is out. Now we just got to get the computer out, and I'll catch up with you guys when we're under there. All right, so moving inside, I had to take this little piece out to get access to the rest of the console. So to do that, I just put it into drive, just turn the key in the ignition, put it into drive, held my foot on the brake, slipped this piece off, and I pulled that piece off, and I've already had some of these off, so they came off pretty easily. And then it was this bolt, and then there's two right here and two right here. And then on the back here, try to not flip you guys upside down, but there's a bolt right here. Once all those are loose, whole center console comes loose. So I'm gonna do the honors of pulling this off, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I got this more stripped down. I definitely don't really want you getting to the ECU on these things. First thing I had to remove was this good old, I think it's an amp for the Rockford Fosgate sound system. At least that's what it looks like to me. But that sits up and down like that right in here. Bottom bolt, another bottom bolt, and then there's upper bolt right here where you can kind of see my finger. Same thing here, and then you got to slide it up and over. And then you've got this bracket, which both of those bolts are way down under the carpet. This carpet's already messed up, so wasn't really a big deal, just kind of arguing with it. And then we had this guy, and this guy comes from, this is part of the vents. So that comes down from here, connects to both of these. Had to remove that as well. It's got one little 10. Basically all you're going to be working with is 10s. And honestly, at this point, my gloves have been taken off. My hands have been circumcised, and kind of wish they weren't, because this is just pounds of human slime, as the Mighty Car Mods guys would tell you. But now we got to get into these last two bolts here, and then it should be just removing the bolt on either side on the cover. There's a bolt that holds the harness in there. So continue that, and I'll update you guys shortly. All right, Merry Christmas. Happy belated update. ECU out the car. That's a fun one. So there's a bolt on this side that holds that whole connector in. You got these two bolts. These fought me for some time. And then there's a little connector that you may or may not see. Yeah, it's that blue one right there. That sits on there. So once you have it finally free, you're like, woohoo, it's coming off. And then you pull on it and you're like, it's not coming off. So you got to pull that off. But yeah, basically everything's done in here. I'm going to come back to this just to mess around with the wiring, because apparently there's another guy who has a video on doing the supercharger swap, and he talks about what wiring you need to kind of mess around with to make a automatic ECU such as this work in a manual Xterra with no engine light. And that's the way I'm gonna go, because your boy kind of broke, and I don't want to be hunting for this for a manual forever and also, you know, not have the money for it. So without further ado, I guess we'll just keep on trucking along with the video. At this point, it's just going to be coming down to pulling my rig apart and getting all the same stuff off. I don't think we're going to get all the way there today, but we'll see how far we get. So yeah. All right, so finally got some time to work on this again today. I was working on the crank sensor on the Eclipse over there, but I got the radiator draining, and now I'm just gonna get started pulling basically all this stuff. Probably gonna be a little bit, you know, slower about it this time, just try and be polite to everything, but yeah, should be all good. So without further ado, let's get started.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What's up, everybody? It's the next day. My camera died last night, but I just continued working, so I'll show you where I'm at, and I'll show you what we're doing next. So fortunately, I was able to get pretty far with the Xterra. As you can see down here, everything's off, including the harmonic balancer. And then up into here, intake manifold, lower plenum, and the fuel rails are out. All that stuff is looking mighty good. So all we've got left to take off this thing before we can start on the next stuff is going to be this AC compressor and these valve covers. And then eventually I'm going to have to swap all these plug wires. But before we do that, I'm going to go into the garage with you, and we're going to do some cleaning of some parts and make things look nicer. All right, so moving into the garage, this is where we're at. I really struggled with this intake manifold last night because that stud right there didn't want to separate from the manifold because it is crusty. So first, I'm gonna try and get this all the way out, make sure the stud still looks healthy and everything, and then we'll get it all the way out, threaded back into the head. But I figure while I'm in here, I wanna make things look nice. So I'm gonna take both of these valve covers, I'm gonna clean them, I'm gonna paint them a nice red because we got the red on the intake, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the supercharger, which is way over there. I'm not gonna paint it red though, because that would be a little ricey. I'm gonna just paint it a fresh silver, make it look kind of like this valve cover. That's off the Eclipse right now because the lady is doing valve cover gasket and replacing that valve cover because that thing has all sorts of cracks. And yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna get started on just kind of cleaning some of this stuff. Probably prop you guys on my tripod and do another time lapse or something like that. But yeah, let's get right into it.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. 'Cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. 'Cause you got me
All right, what's up everybody? For some reason the wind's going. I don't know why. It's not supposed to be windy today, but it's a new day. It's actually a couple of days later because I had some other stuff I had to sort out. But I'm gonna show you where we're at and we're gonna pick up where we left off. All right, so it's gonna be a wind noisy day, I guess. Literally just started as soon as I started. Convenient. But for starters, I gotta get all of this vacuumed out. I didn't film taking the whole lower intake plenum off because I was struggling with it for quite some time. Because of that stud that's right there. That one still needs to be threaded in. It didn't want to come out without it, so I had to pull it from the head and re-thread it in. But I'm gonna start by vacuuming all this stuff out, cleaning it all up. Then I'm gonna get the AC compressor off. We're gonna swap that. We're gonna get everything done up front. And then we're gonna do the lower plenum. We're gonna do the valve covers, which are sitting over there. I decided to paint those up, which is nice. Wow. A whole ass tornado right now. It's gonna be a fun day. Anyway, I'm gonna get started, so I'll put you guys on a time lapse or something, update you as we go. All right guys, I kind of dropped the ball here. Forgot to press record while I was working on what I've been working on. So I guess I'll just update you guys with it and let you know what we're doing next, and then get you guys set up so that you can actually have some B-roll footage as well. So yeah. All right, so The lower intake manifold is in. This is the supercharged one. It's got the extra bolt holes. Fuel rails are also in, and I just got the valve cover gasket, or the valve covers off. So, gotta say, it's not looking bad for 200K. This one's a little bit dirtier, but that's normal with any V engine, is that one bank is gonna get a little dirtier than the other. But yeah, so basically all I gotta do is get those valve covers on. Then I gotta swap the AC compressor and put the harmonic balancer on. Then I can worry about the pulley bridge, the actual supercharger itself, and the rest of the hoses and everything like that. And tomorrow I'm getting a radiator for this thing. That's coming in the mail. It's a 3-row aluminum radiator, just because the one that was in it was actually leaking. And then I took the other one out, and I'll show you here. When I took the other one out of it, I pulled the hose for the overflow, and it just broke right off the radiator. And I'm like, you know, not really feeling JB welding a radiator, you know? So I got another one on the way. But yeah, so anyway, rant over. I'm gonna continue with this, gonna get this put together, and I'm gonna do the valve cover gaskets because I've got new ones for those. So yeah, I'll update you guys shortly. Yippee! Okay, let's go this way. Very nice. Lose my camera in the wind, man. What the hell? Well, all these guys snug down. Scared. That was a scary encounter right there, man. It was real scary. Alright, that piece is in. Now we just gotta torque it. So, after digging through my service manual and the internet, I really couldn't find too much consistency. However, I did find someone else's video of doing a supercharger swap, and torque specs are 18 to 23 foot-pounds. I couldn't quite get a sequence except for the NA, which just states that you're going from the middle outward. So that's what we're gonna do here. All right, so now that that plate's on, now we just gotta figure out, I'm pretty sure the fuel pressure regulator connects here. I'm not 100% sure of that. I'm gonna put that there for now. And I'm gonna go look back at all my information and see if I can figure out where that exactly connects. Could be right, could be wrong, we don't know, but we'll figure it out. Cool. Gotta love the wind, right? what's up everybody? It's been a long day, and I've been battling with camera battery issues, basically all of it. So just gonna let you know that now. I'll give you an update where I've gotten with everything. As you can see, I've been working on it all day. You can see it in my face too. But without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so as you can see here, we got the supercharger on. We got the little intake runner for it on. Valve covers are on. All the, okay, camera's gonna cut me off too. All the gross hoses and stuff that you gotta get at back here are connected, minus this vacuum line. And I've got a vacuum line out of the BCS solenoid that I gotta sort out. And then I've got 2 vacuum lines that I gotta sort out over there. Once that's done, it'll just be swapping the plug wires and putting all the serpentine pulley bridge stuff back together. And then I should be able to start it. However, I also need to get a manual ECU for this. I'm gonna run an automatic for now. I guess some of the information I found was a little bit misleading, so I got to do a little bit more research into that before I figure out what exactly I'm going to do. But the general plan is going to be running the ECU that was in that Xterra and just going with an engine light for the time being, and then we'll sort it out from there. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we landed at. I should be out here working on it again tomorrow. It's supposed to be quite a bit colder tomorrow, so I think I'm just gonna layer up because I want this puppy running again. So, yeah. All right, what's up everybody? It's another day. Sorry for my shaky ass hands, I've been working. But as you can see, the Xterra is behind me and it's mostly assembled. I'll show you what we got done, and I would like to apologize for not filming too much. Yesterday I hit a bit of a snag. I got all of it basically assembled, minus all the serpentine stuff, the radiator stuff, spark plug wires, and the intake. But I got all the upper part assembled. And the previous owner of this truck relocated the knock sensor, and he spliced into the wiring to do that. And I didn't even really think about it until after the fact, so I ended up having to take it all the way back apart, putting the knock sensor, I bought a new knock sensor. I put the knock sensor back where it goes in the valley of the engine, and then I reassembled everything. So I didn't really want to film all of that because I had already filmed it. And the other part of that was I was just trying to get this video going. So anyway, without further ado, let me show you. So as you can see here, got a new radiator. This is a 3-row aluminum radiator. I got it on eBay for like $100. And honestly, pretty solid radiator so far. I mean, I don't have any coolant in it yet, but it looks good. The welds look good, and all the shroud mounting is correct and everything else is correct, so that's nice. But we got the supercharger up here right now, because this is an 01 Xterra. It doesn't have any wiring for the boost control solenoid, which is in this one. Well, it's no longer in this one, but here's the connector for it on the passenger side of the engine bay. And I had a similar looking connector on the passenger side of my engine bay, but it did not plug into the boost control solenoid. So we're gonna vent that to vacuum, and everything else I just kind of have ran in the ways that it should be. So like way down in here, we got one vacuum cap on that, because from what I was seeing on the people who delete the BCS, the boost control solenoid, they run either a cap on that or they run a vacuum line all the way inside so they can watch their boost gauge. But since I don't have a boost gauge because your boy a little broke, we're not gonna run that. But yeah, so basically everything's been put together, and I just put the ECU in it. So it's about time to give it a crank and see if it fires up. I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm really freaking nervous, so we'll see what we get. All right, here goes nothing. All right, so it runs. The only thing that's kind of tripping me out a little bit is for some reason it's lingering around $3,000. I got my engine lights on, of course, because there's no automatic transmission and there's no boost control solenoid. But I think I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on there. But everything sounds solid. I'm not seeing any leaks. So now it's just gonna be cleaning up this godforsaken mess of just parts. It's just been working and working and working, so I haven't really thought to clean up everything. So here's all the parts from mine. Way over there is some of the extra parts I didn't use from the other one. And I've just got more tools and more stuff, and I keep stepping on all of it. You know how it goes. Sometimes you just gotta keep pushing on and not even stop to clean up, I guess. I'm just lazy, it's fine. But we're gonna figure out what's going on with the high idle situation. And once we figure that out, we'll go take her on a test drive and I'll bring you guys along for it. All right, so I'll update you guys now. Now it's idling normal. We're at about 1100 RPM, which is still a little bit high, but it's still bleeding coolant. I just started it up, ran it for a few minutes, and started to get a little worried, and then it immediately just shot right down. So we're all good there. I'm just gonna let it bleed the coolant system. Words are hard, man. I'm gonna let it bleed the coolant system. And yeah, we're gonna see where we get. Turn the heat on. And let that all get through the system. There's a lot of dust. And once we're good there, I'll probably take the hood off it so I can drive it around, because I haven't cut the hood yet. And I don't know if I want to take that hood because I don't want to do the whole round headlight deal. I don't like the way that looks. Like, honestly, I think it looks more aggressive with the square headlights. But this hood would give me clearance. I don't know. A lot of things to think about, but we'll figure it out. But the important thing is it's running and everything seems to be sealing up okay. So that makes me a happy camper. I'll update you guys with a little bit more information as I go. All right, so another update here. I just started it up. I borrowed my scanner from my local guys at O'Reilly. I used to work there, so boys are still hooking me up. But ran all the codes. All the codes are just relating to the supercharger bypass and the automatic transmission, which I do not have. So nothing for the knock sensor. That's all good there. Sorry, words are hard for me today. Words are hard for me today, but it's all right. We're gonna go take it on its maiden voyage, and I'll try to document that as best as I can. I don't really have a mount for my phone in the car aside from my just regular mount that I use to put my phone up on the dashboard, so I might just try to record with that. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm gonna take it on its little run. I'll bring this code scanner back to O'Reilly and we'll go from there. All right, so forgive my bad camera angle here and my dirty windshield, which I cannot clean because I don't have sprayers, because I don't have a hood right now. But she's shaking down pretty okay, and the supercharger sounds awesome. So that's pretty sweet. I'd call that a job well done. I'm just gonna take this right back over to O'Reilly to bring this scanner to them. I've got all my live data up. I'm not gonna really pivot the scanner because it's kind of funky, but I'll show you guys here in a second. So I got all my live data reading down there. I'm just gonna keep an eye on that, make sure I have the same codes when I get to O'Reilly as I did when I left the house, because it's only about a 15-minute drive, so should be pretty all set. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped on this. I'm happy that got it done, and I'm pretty excited about just right now just seeing the supercharger sticking out the hood. It's so dumb. It's so dumb having no hood on this thing, but can't help but feel a little badass, you know? So hell yeah. Well, I'd call that a video pretty much over, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. And I should have another video out to you guys here in a couple of weeks. I don't really know what it's going to be about yet. We'll figure that out too, but yeah, thanks for watching.